Hey guys, as promised, this is the strength and mobility training episode. First, I wanted to point out the URL where you can find all the information on our strength and mobility training program. And for those who missed episode 2, we'll go ahead and do a quick recap on the key takeaways and action items from our laboratory assessment of our body composition. So key takeaways, body composition, it would serve us well to increase our lean muscle mass throughout the entire body. We should definitely work to improve body symmetry. And I'm going to consider speaking with my physician about getting a bone density assessment. And the action items we're going to take out of this is we're starting a calisthenics program 3 days a week. The way we're going to address the symmetry at first is just doing the calisthenics and making sure doing equal reps on both sides. Things like I'm going to not let my push-ups exceed my pull-ups, so my pull-ups are going to have to catch up with my push-ups. We're also going to start a mobility program. Coach Perry has a great mobility program for runners, so I think we'll do the calisthenics 3 days a week and the mobility training on the Tuesday and Thursday in between calisthenic circuits. So the schedule we've come up with is to perform calisthenics Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. We're going to do a full body circuit. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will do mobility training, and we will evolve this program over time. The third aspect is we will document our progress, and we'll do this through tracking changes to quality of life, see how we feel. Do we have more energy, less energy, soreness, that kind of stuff. We'll also monitor body composition, weight, body fat percentage, lean mass, that kind of thing. And finally, in December, we'll have another DEXA scan. So we'll get a more in-depth analysis and see if our calisthenics program had any impact. And the fourth point to mention now is that we're initiating the program today. It's September 9th, 2022, and I am ready to get started. We're going to base our calisthenics program off of the YouTube channel Minus the Gym. This beginner routine is really good, and I think it's going to suit our needs well. For mobility training, we're going to use Coach Perry's mobility series. I highly recommend both of these YouTube channels. And so the methodology we're going to follow for day one is first define our purpose. We're going to learn the exercises, and we're going to complete one circuit of each. So step one, we'll let Minus the Gym or Coach Perry describe each exercise. We will learn the exercise, doing it once, and then we'll go ahead and do each exercise for 10 reps, and then we'll close out. We'll do a full circuit uninterrupted at full speed. As I mentioned a few moments ago, we will be doing a full body calisthenics circuit, and the 4 categories of movements in calisthenics are push, pull, squat, and hinge. I'm going to let Minus the Gym explain these 4 categories of movements and also give an overview of the circuit.
Now let's take a look at the 4 main movements you're going to be doing in your circuit workouts, okay? So the 4 movements are pull, push, squat, and hinge. Pulling works primarily your back, your biceps, and your rear deltoids, right, the back of your shoulders. Pushing primarily works your chest, your triceps, and your anterior deltoids, or the front of your shoulder. Then you have squatting and lunging. That's going to work your lower body, your thighs, like your quads and hamstrings, your calves. And then what I call hinging, like hinging at the hips. It's going to work your core. Now planking would also be in the hinge category as well. So in your workout, you're going to have one exercise for each of these main movements. And you're going to do all 4 of the exercises in a row with minimal rest and then take a break. That's what circuit training is all about. Okay, so what order do I recommend doing the exercises in? The truth is, it doesn't really matter. You can do them in any order you want, but I do have a recommendation. I recommend that you do your pull and push separate from each other. Don't do them one after another. So those 2 upper body exercises, separate them somehow. And in this example, I'm saying do your pull exercise first, then your squat second, push third, and then core exercise or hinge fourth. All right, and real quick, let me explain just the overall format of a workout. You want to start off with 2 minutes of warming up. I like to do jumping jacks because you're moving your arms and legs, warming up your joints. But any cardio would do. If you want to jump rope, do burpees, mountain climbers, whatever you want. After the 2-minute warm-up, your heart rate will be up and you can start your main workout. That's the circuits. All right, so remember, I recommended like pull, squat, push, hinge, but you can do any order you want. So you do your first circuit of 4 exercises and then rest 1 to 2 minutes or longer if you need it. After the rest, you do your second circuit, and then you rest. Third circuit, rest. Fourth circuit, and then you cool down.
All right, so it's time for us to get started. I'm going to let Minus the Gym describe the pull exercises and the various variations and progressions available to us, and then we'll learn the exercise and go ahead and do 10 reps of it.
All right, first we're looking at pull exercises. For the first exercise, get underneath some dip bars and do bent leg body weight rows. Notice my knees are bent for less resistance, and I recommend building this up to 10 reps and then moving on to straight leg body weight rows. Straightening the legs will increase the resistance and make them a little harder. Then you'll want to jump up into the top position of a pull-up and slowly lower down, doing pull-up negatives. If you're afraid to jump up and you're afraid your pull-up bar might come off your doorway, then you can always use a chair or step stool to get your chin above the bar. Once you can do 5 slow and controlled negatives per set, it's time to thread a resistance band over your pull-up bar through itself like this. And then what you can do is have your resistance band dangling from the pull-up bar so you can step in it. With your feet inside the band, now you have some assistance to pull you up and help you with pull-ups. So you're doing assisted pull-ups. Build that up to 10 reps, and then you should be ready to move on to the real deal and do legit pull-ups.
As with the pull exercises, we'll let Minus the Gym teach us about the squat exercises, and then we will give them a shot ourselves.
Okay, now for squat exercises. To start things off, do a basic half squat, which means going down so your thighs are almost parallel to the ground. Now, our thighs are pretty strong, so I recommend building these up to at least 30 reps per set before you move on. It's a lot different than pull-ups and push-ups. Next, you want to work on the full squat, which is when your thighs go below parallel to the ground, so your butt is nearly touching the floor. This is great not only for building strength in your thighs, but also for improving flexibility. Now, if you want, you can also add in a calf raise by standing on your tippy toes at the top of the squat. This is a great way to work your whole leg when you're doing squats. Once you can do 30 reps of the deep, full squats, then it's time to move on to a plyometric or explosive version of squats. These hop squats are great because the explosiveness adds more resistance. And don't forget about lunges, which are another great lower body exercise. Lunges are good if you want to put extra emphasis on your hamstrings, on the back of your thighs, and the glutes in your butt. Once you build those to about 20 reps per side, it's time to switch to an explosive or plyometric version of those as well. These switching lunges are a really good workout, cardiovascularly and for strength.
And now we will learn about the push exercises and then do 10 reps of them.
And now moving on to push exercises. If you're an absolute beginner to push-ups, I recommend starting off against the wall. Because you're standing in front of a wall, you're vertical and gravity's not really working against you, so this will teach you proper form, but with very little resistance. Once you can do 10 reps against the wall, start finding elevated platforms like staircases and couches that you can do incline push-ups against. Build up to 10 reps with those, and then move to the floor with standard push-ups. And of course, once you're doing 10 reps or more with push-ups, you can move on to diamond push-ups, which I have an entire tutorial on if you want to check that out. And there's other advanced variations like these archer push-ups, which I also have a tutorial for.
Now finally, let's learn about hinge and do our reps there.
And lastly, let's look at hinge exercises. For starters, lay on the floor and just do lying tucks like this. With legs extended, tuck your knees in towards your chest. Build that up to 10 or more reps, and then you're ready to start doing lying leg raises. These will be much harder, and they'll take some more effort to get used to because they're really engaging the hip flexors. But stay persistent with those, and I promise you'll get them. Build them up to 10 reps, and then you're ready to move on and start working on hanging leg raises. And I have an entire tutorial video on hanging leg raises. I highly recommend you check that out because doing these movements hanging from a bar is a lot more challenging than doing them on the floor. Now, finally, let's look at what an example circuit looks like.
Said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please. And she spoke so kind, and she talked so fair. Till Samson said, Delilah, you cut off my hair. You can shave my head, clean as my hand. My strength coming natural as any old man. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I Samson, all from his birth, he was the strongest man that has lived on earth. One day while Samson was walking along, looked down on the ground, he saw an old jawbone. And he stretched down his arm, God, no chains broke like threads. When he got to moving, 10,000 was dead.
Well, that was super fun. So for the mobility program, I'm not going to go through the whole flow here. I'll play the introduction to the CoachPerry.com mobility series. And if you're interested in the details, follow the link in the description.
Hi there, I'm Devlin Eden from CoachPerry.com. And today we're going to go through our mobility series. This is going to be a whole body mobility series. And really, we do recommend you do this every day. It's not taxing on the body. You're not going to get tired as though you would maybe from a strength training session. This is something we recommend doing every day before your runs, before your strength sessions as a good warm-up method. And it's really going to help with range of motion throughout your body around all the joints. Let's get straight into it.
I appreciate you guys being here, and the next episode will be the first in the Hacking Ultra posture series, and we'll look at the full lotus position. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you next time.
Till she climbed up on old Samson's knee, said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please.